Hello, we're getting ready to start lesson. Boy, that is really blurry today. We are getting ready to start lesson 18, and we're going to be starting with the sprint. You know how those work. You're going to be timing for 1 minute. Then you're going to go through and check when I show you the master. And then you're going to try and raise your score as you move over to part B. Same thing. Remember, you're trying to improve your score. And I'm going to remind you that you need to finish the sprint when you get after the timing. You need to finish the sprint. So that's an important part of sprints, and you should do that for both the A side and the B side. So make sure before you start these exercises that you watch the Eureka video with Mr. Waldorf before you try to attempt to do the problem set 18. You're going to be doing for day 1, you're going to be doing page 69 down here. Page 69, turning over to the next page. And the very top of page 70, this is the top of page 70, you are going to be doing your exit ticket. This is for day 1, and it will be problem 3, and you'll be doing A, B, and C. Please pay attention to the fact that this time they're asking you to order these from the greatest to the least, and you do need to show standard form on each number. So if you have 82 tens, you need to tell me what the value of 82 tens is. You need to tell me what 800s 12 ones, what is the value of that? What is the value of this expanded form in a standard form number? And what is the value of 30 tens and 3 ones in standard form, and 300 plus 30 in standard form. So just reminding you, you need to show your arrows so I know where you're making your decisions for your greater than, less than, and also make sure that you show the standard form for all numbers. All 3 of these are already in standard form here, but you need to show standard form, 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 and then order these numbers from the greatest to the least. You only need to do A through B for the exit ticket. However, the rest of the page, you need to finish this part as well. And also, please remember that that is true to show standard form and your arrows on the second half of this page as well. The next page will be the day 2, so this is as far as you need to get. Make sure that you send your exit ticket to the teacher so we can check. And I'm very insistent that you show the arrow above the place value you're using to make your determination, and also that you show the standard form of every number. All right, so with that, things were pretty short for this particular introduction. Do be absolutely positive that before you attempt to do the problem set that you watch Mr. Waldorf do his explanation on the Eureka video. It's usually a good idea to watch that for both days. So at this point, I am going to tell you to go ahead and get your work done, and then pause the video, and when you're ready to come back, I will share the answers with you. You need to be absolutely positive that your student isn't just writing the answers down, because that pretty much doesn't help anybody. Okay. All right, I'm assuming that your student has worked. It probably took them, I'm going to say, at least 30 to 35, maybe 40 minutes to do the problems that I assigned just a few minutes ago. Here is the answer key for the sprints. You can go ahead and take a look at how your student did on those. Pause the video so you can look at those answers to part A. Please remember that your student should finish anything they didn't get done. This is excellent practice. And here is the answers for part B And of course, we do expect that students will finish any of the problems that they didn't get finished in the 1-minute timing. So pause the video, check your students' work. Okay, now I am moving over to lesson 18, and I just need to be careful. Yep, I'm being fine. So on lesson 18, make sure that your student has put those standard numbers in. They need to be there. You can do an exchange. If your student did the exchange, that would be great. If they didn't, that's fine too, but the exchanges can be useful. You were ordering these problems from least to greatest. It's important that you pay attention to that because it is changing on the next page. So I'm going to put this here so that you can take a look at what your student was supposed to be doing. And I'm going to remind you that they should use their arrow to show how they made their place value determination when they're ordering their numbers. You do need to have the standard number for each one of these problems and an arrow indicating where you made your decision. Standard number is absolutely essential unless it's already there, and the arrow showing which place value was used to make the determination. And again, standard number is very important that they figure that out by themselves and they show how they made that determination. Again, standard number, very important. Standard number. Oops, looks like I did not put my arrow to, oh, that's because they were all equal. They were the same. So in that case, I don't need to use an arrow because all of the place values are the same. So hopefully that was useful to you. And now I don't want to show that part because that is the exit ticket, so I'm not going to be showing that part, but I am going to show the rest of this page owing to the fact that they did need to complete this page as well. Standard number is required, and if your student is not writing the standard number, they need to. Some of them already have the standard number, but the standard number is absolutely essential. We talked about this last Friday when we had our Zoom meeting for distance learning students. We gave you a little heads up about how things were going to be happening. On this next part, you're comparing three numbers. You need to compare these two numbers first, and then you're comparing these two numbers. Again, you need to show the place value. If a standard number has not been given, the student needs to give the standard number, and you're using these two were equal, but I do need to compare my tens and my tens for the next set of numbers when you're comparing 409 to 490. Again, the standard number needs to be shown. And of course, these were all equal to each other. Standard number is very important. Interesting thing on problem D, when you're comparing the first two numbers, you have to look at the hundreds. But when you're comparing the second two numbers, you have to use the tens. So be aware that occasionally if you are going to be sharing, if you're going to be comparing three numbers, sometimes your middle number will have two different place values that need to be considered. On letter E, the standard number was 903 and 309. In the first one, you were comparing the hundreds, so 900 compared to 300. In the second set, you were comparing the tens, 9 tens compared to 0 tens. Again, the standard number is very important. In the first two, you were comparing the tens. Didn't put my arrow there. You were comparing the tens. And in the second two, you were also comparing the tens. So, very important that your student remember to do the standard number as well as where are they making their comparison. All right, so that takes care of what you needed to do for day 1.